Hi, this is Danny. I just want to talk about the recent news about that Elon Musk there's a possibility of doing something with Bitcoin, especially with the cash in hand. I think it's about like $20 billion or something. So in short, I've been listening to Dave in investing, and then what's the other guy, the one in the hyperchain, Carly? Yeah. So I tend to agree with them that the Tesla shouldn't do it like Bitcoin because the the reasons that are being mentioned on that video, right? So I'm just gonna give you the major reason. Basically, it's too risky, too volatile, and it's gonna create distractions for Tesla. Um, Unnecessary distraction, right? Which means that Elon Musk probably couldn't focus, right? And it doesn't make sense for Tesla to do into Bitcoin because there's a perception, or whether it's perception or real, I think it's real that Bitcoin is using a lot of electricity, right? But of course, in the long term, I also believe that Bitcoin electricity problem is going to be reduced kind of because of the introduction of the solar, using the sustainable energy. But that's a different point. But anyway, so those are the main points, right? So volatile, risky, distractions, not compatible with Tesla mission, which is basically sustainable energy, right? It's basically trying to use energy the most kind of like efficient way. So yeah, and but so I want to bring to attention to the the point that, not to mention that the point that Bitcoin values is going to be undermined with the undergrowing trends of the tokenizations of assets, right? Basically, Dave from investing like kind of helped me with this kind of thoughts, which I do agree with him. Although there's a different kind of thought that says that there is always a place where you can put money as a store of value. You see, the fundamental principle of money, right? The fundamental principle of money is a medium of exchange, right? Medium of exchange means if you want to trade assets, if you want to trade real value, real that society, people value. Let's say I have a cow and then you have a goat, right? And then you want to trade, right? But you cannot trade it because that, for example, if you have a cow, I don't want the cow. I want something else. For example, like fish, right? So I have to find somebody. So we need to find that medium exchange that people can agree, right? So let's say that then they use silver, or they use gold in the old days, or they even use like beads, or they use like something like seashell, something from the sea that like people in that local community kind of agree, right? And then as time goes on, people use gold, which is like accepted internationally, right? So the fundamental principle of money is like a mediator between two. If you want to exchange two real assets, A and B, right? You need something in between. So it's a mediator. You can think about it like the internet. Before there's no internet, right? Many of the transactions has to go through a mediator, right? Once the internet kind of like take off, like the past 20 years, you can actually transact directly. Of course, there's still a lot of cases where you have to go through a mediator, right? The real trend that you can see right now, it's the influencer. Like in Instagram right now, if you are an influencer, you can actually sell directly to your customer, right? Instead of going through like a store or going through, so you go direct, and you can see this already becoming like a trend the past probably like 10 years in China with WeChat, with the social media over there. They're basically combining, or sorry, not WeChat, Pinduoduo. Do a research on it, but basically Pinduoduo is like an e-commerce app or website, just like think about it like a Facebook, but people can actually sell stuff over there. So from what I heard and from what I saw, that if, let's say, a farmer, if you're like farming corn and you want to sell like to your customer, instead of going through like a Meyer over here, if you have to sell it to the store, then you can go direct, right? So it take out the need of having a mediator. So this is also the things that I've been seeing in the early days right now with crypto. And if you follow me on Twitter, I'm arguing that crypto is basically going to democratize money, meaning crypto is gonna make money abundance. Because the way I see it, if technology, the role of technology is to bring something from scarce to abundance, right? So internet is bringing what? Being a journalist is scarce. With the internet, being a journalist is abundance, because everybody can become a blogger, right? YouTube, before there's no YouTube, like everybody, what is scarce? I cannot do like this. I cannot do broadcasting, right? I cannot like become a movie producer or become a content creator. With YouTube democratized that. So it's abundance now. Everybody who wants to become a producer, who becomes a content creator, they can do that. So it's abundance, right? So, and there are many examples of that. Google, like before there was Google, the one that's scarce is information, right? And once Google take off, information become abundance. Everybody can become a researcher if they want to. Before there's Netflix. What is abundance? What is scarce? It's the entertainment, the movies, right? After Netflix happens, then movie become abundant. Then suddenly everybody can become like a movie critics if you want to, right? So and crypto is the same thing. Crypto basically is fundamentally it's like money, because it's selling trust. That's one of the main features of crypto is trust. Of course, now it's slow, it's like cumbersome to use it, the UX sucks, the UI, user interface is also not good, but fundamentally what crypto is really good at is trust, right? And trust is basically, you can think of it as like money. So if crypto is going to be successful, what is going to make it abundance is money. So money is abundance, right? And basically one of the key factors for this is the tokenization of assets. So for example, if you go to like ftx.com, right? And this is a centralized exchange. I'm not talking about decentralized exchange yet. So in centralized exchange at ftx.com, people all around the world right now can actually buy a tokenized of the big five, the FANG, the Facebook, Amazon, Google, Netflix, Apple, and also Tesla. So it's a tokenized of real stocks, assets. And in fact, people inside the US, because I live here, when I go to that website, I cannot do it because of the regulation of the US. But people outside the US can buy that so to speak, tokenized like stocks of those big tech companies that resides in the US. And this is just the beginning, right? We're like, this is like, you're talking about this is like, Amazon is like 20 years ago. When people talk about Amazon 20 years ago, what is Amazon, right? What is internet? People have no idea. And then when they said, oh, look, you can buy stuff from Amazon. No, I don't want to buy that. It's so scary. What if somebody steal my credit card, right? But now look at Amazon, like it's just like, and not just Amazon, there's like Shopify, there's like eBay, there's a lot of like e-commerce like company born out of the internet. So the way I see this is just like the beginning. It's like the birth of the tokenization of assets. And once that's gonna grow like crazy, I think, yeah, there's gonna be a Cambrian explosions, especially when decentralized finance take off. The one I just give you an example, the FTX.com website is a centralized. And you can actually do the decentralized version of it. There's several I couldn't think of right out of the bat, but like synthetics, yeah. If you the ticker or the token symbol is SNX. So in synthetics, you can actually people all around the world, including the U.S., because synthetics is a decentralized finance kind of network. So there is no KYC. People all around the world can just go in there as long as they have internet connection and they know how to use like MetaMask. They can go in there and they can buy synthetic gold, synthetic silver. They can also buy synthetic other real assets, right? So like I mentioned, this is just the beginning, and I don't see how this is going to be like. This innovation is going to be like curb, right? It's just going to be like blowing up like crazy. So because of that, the real essence of money as a mediator between two real assets is going to be diminished, right, over time. Because think about it, why do you need a mediator? Like when you can actually, when you want that assets, you can actually, and it's already tokenized because in the future it's going to be more and more tokenized. Of course, there's some exception for that. You can actually exchange directly, right? For those tokenized assets, right? And then people will say, "Oh, but I don't want Tesla tokenized." Yeah, but I mean, Tesla is just one example. If you don't want Tesla, you can have Google. If you don't want Google, you have Apple. And then there's going to be many. And then if you go to in Twitter, I follow this basically a tokenized property in the US. You can actually buy a tokenized real estate properties. Just imagine that. So the one example, I saw this house in Detroit that is about probably like $60,000, $70,000, like that, the real value in Detroit. And then I think they're renting it out, and then you can just buy tokenized so it's like you can buy like only like $50 or $60. So you own kind of like a fraction of the house, and then because of that you're gonna earn like the future earnings, because I think that house is being renting out, or it's just the appreciation of the house itself. Like every year you're gonna get like about 10% kind of the yield. So and again, this is just the beginning. There's so many things going on right now in the crypto world, especially in the decentralized finance world. Really exciting space to be in right now. So yeah, because of that, my view of Bitcoin actually is kind of changing right now. So I'm not so bullish about Bitcoin anymore. You know, I'm not so bullish about, especially fiat. Look, if you ask me which one is better, right? Fiat or Bitcoin? I would say Bitcoin for me. No, it's like kind of, you know, I'm no brainer, right? But now there's another like a factor attack, which is coming from the tokenized assets, which is coming from the crypto world, right? So when I look at these three within fiat, like US dollars or other state currency, and then there's Bitcoin or like Ethereum, right? And then there is and Ethereum, that's another separate thing we can discuss. And then there's these tokenized assets that are emerging from the crypto world. Then I would say, you know, why would I want to hold something that is unproductive? Because Bitcoin, the essence of Bitcoin is just, it has value because it's a mediator. People believe it has value because it's a mediator. It can hedge against the US dollars. It gives value, for example, to the nation state who are like not governing really well, like in Venezuela or in like I think Bolivia too. Like the inflation is like going so high. I'm not discounting all of the good things that Bitcoin has already done. That's really good. Otherwise, I wouldn't like invest on Bitcoin, right? But what I'm trying to say is the value proposition of Bitcoin as a store of value, it kind of diminished over time, I think, because of this another emerging properties of the tokenized assets that are just beginning to explode. I'm just talking about this like an Amazon 20 years ago, or talking about internet 20 years ago, which most people do not understand, like what is this thing, right? But just imagine most of your valuable assets can be tokenized, can be like digitized, which means can be sold as a fraction, just like money, you know, like you want like $100 US, I can give it to you. You want like $10 US, I can give it to you. You can $1 US, I can give it to you. You want like 0.1, I can give it to you. So it's like that. Once you can like tokenize the real assets of the real world, then if I have a house here in the US, let's say, you know, worth like, I don't know, 200,000, then you can buy a fraction of it, or I can just give you a fraction of it. Here, I'll give you like 0.001 of my, you know, tokenized assets in this address, in this, you know, country, whatever, right? And you can use that as a real store of value. And that store of value is different because that store of value represents real physical assets that are productive, not just being a mediator in the real world, just like Bitcoin, right? Or fiat currency. So yeah, and then some people would argue, oh, but there's an SEC, like Security Exchange Commission, but I mean, those are just the regulation of the US, okay? That's one, right? The outside of the US, people, I don't think that regulation applies outside of the US, right? For non-US citizens especially, right? So, and then that's first. Two, the SEC could change, like, regulation is not just like, it's a man-made thing. They will adapt to what the society needs, right? The regulation exists, from my point of view, to make a better world, right? If they see that the crypto or the technology is helping people, then the regulation will adapt towards it, right? So, but technology drives the regulation, not regulation drive the technology. That's the opposite way of thinking. Technology comes first, right? And then the regulation, the people in the regulation will see it. Okay, this is the way the technology will like develop, right? Will like become like useful in society. Okay, so that we need to put like guidance, right? So it's fair, you know, just like when we are playing like soccer, there's like clear rules, like, so that's the way I see it. And then there's this second, and then third, you can actually, if you look at the history, there's always there's this concept of exit and exit or like building. So for example, I was born in Indonesia, right? So I'm like, and then 26 years ago, I moved to Singapore. Why? Because I feel like I can do better in different country. And then if you ask fundamentally why, because probably I don't like, even though I was not concerned, I don't really like the regulation on that country, right? So I can exit to a different country, right? And then after that, I spent like 2, 3, 5 years in Singapore, and then I saw there's an opportunity to the US, right? And then, whoa, this is another opportunity. And then why I moved there? Because it's fundamentally different, and it's different. It's because of the regulation that exists there. It's being built differently, right? With different values, different culture. So I exit again from Singapore to the US, which is now I'm residing here in Fishers, Indiana. So, and then by building a new technology, which is now crypto, you are actually exiting the current regulations, and sooner or later, the people in the regulations the first reaction would be, oh yeah, they want to regulate that. They will say, no, stop innovating. But I think that's just a short-term reaction. In the long term, the people in the regulation, if they see technology is fundamentally good, which I believe technology is good for the world, the people in regulation will change their heart, right? And if they don't, there's going to be a backfire, you know. That's the way I see it. There's going to be a backfire around the community, you know. Just the way I see Tesla. Okay, Tesla. This is a good example, right? So Tesla has been making a lawsuit towards the regulations that says that as a citizen or as a company, that you cannot sell directly to your customer. Just imagine that. So what other industry prohibits that? Like, you know, I never think about that, but it's probably only in a car industry that as a car manufacturer, correct me if I'm wrong, you cannot sell directly. You have to go through a dealership. So Elon Musk said, wait. What's the reason behind that, right? I mean, if I make like a candies, whatever, or ice cream like Häagen-Dazs, I can sell it directly to my customer, right? Or if I make probably I'm wrong there, but it seems like this is one of the few industry that's being regulated, right? And then why it's being regulated that way, I'm not sure. I do not know the history of the auto industry in the U.S., but from I suspect, I'm just speculating here, that the Detroit becomes so big, the automaker here like Ford and GM become so big, and they want to kind of to protect their industry, right? So, and to protect their distributor, their wholesaler to make money, right? So they have this regulation, right? But now things are like changing because of internet once again, right? So without internet, Tesla couldn't do this, like sell directly to their customer, right? With the internet now, Tesla can sell directly. Now the customer can just open their smartphone, open their laptop, and then just click, and then you can just go buy directly, right? So again, internet is a new technology, right? And a new technology is basically a way to circumvent, not in a bad way, okay? Not in a bad way. I'm not against regulation, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm for regulation when it's fair and square, right? But when the company becomes older, the older company normally, or the older the industry, it becomes there's a lot of things like on top of it. There's a lot of regulations that prevent new companies to go in. And the only way to exit that, to circumvent that is a new technology. You build a totally different technology. In this case, like the internet, right? And Tesla is one of the new companies that are using this new technology heavily. And because of that, it's kind of successful, and then Elon Musk also like making a lawsuit towards this like the old regulation. So, fundamentally, regulation exists to help people to create a better world, right? And people, the people in regulation could see it. If this regulation is like impedes or encourage a new creative, a better world for everybody. And I believe in the as an American citizen, I believe that fundamentally that's like the American like culture, that they believe in creativity, they believe in innovation. So although there's going to be like a pushback against like this new like technology, this like it seems like trying to circumvent the regulation, but in the long run, I believe that this new way of building wealth, building value is going to win over, and the regulation is just going to follow it. So because of that, I'm kind of bearish towards money in general as a medium, because why would you go through a medium? Sorry, my camera is kind of really weird. I'm not going to use this probably next time, right? Why would you go to a medium if you can go directly to the real assets, you know? So, and yeah, so that's just my thoughts. Let me know. We're living in a, like, a lot of things, like a lot of new technologies coming in almost at the same time. And I'm trying to constantly updating my knowledge and how this thing will shape, like, what's going to be in the future. And I'm also putting my money into it, so I don't want to lose my money, of course. And because of that, I'll also make a better world by investing in a companies that I think is going to be fundamentally better for the world, you know. Yeah, let me know what you think of it. Did I miss something? You know, I don't know. I've been, yeah, because I think I went to Bitcoin about like 3-4 years ago. Yeah, but and this I've been following decentralized finance or digital finance just like the past 6 months, because the past 6 months has been like booming, right? So and I can see how this gonna affect the money as the medium of exchange thesis, because we don't need money anymore probably in the future. You know, we can use Tesla as money. We can use like our house as money. We can use like, I don't know, like our car as money. We can use like I don't know, like and then there's, not to mention there's going to be a lot of companies. Like the future is going to be bright. That's my thesis, my belief. The future is just going to be brighter and brighter, which means people is going to be able to create more and more, which means there's going to be more and more companies, which means there's going to be more and more like assets, like value in the real world, right? Because when you create companies, when you create value, basically that's assets. And if those are tokenized, then why would you want to put your money in this mediator like Bitcoin or something, right? Unless I've been also following the Bitcoins, you can actually build something on top of Bitcoin. One of the company I've been following is a Blockstack. The token is STX. I put some money there, like $1,000, $2,000. You know, this Blockstack or the STX token is basically is trying to build something on top of the Bitcoin, right? So if that's successful, then probably then there is a value to actually invest in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is not just going to be like a, how do you say it? It's not just going to be like a medium of exchange, like a mediator with no real tangible value, right? But because people build applications on top of this Bitcoin blockchains, then it's going to be valuable. So, and then that's going to be a different story. But other than that, like the thesis of something that you need a mediator between two real assets, I think that's going to be diminished. Okay, thanks for listening. It's been 30 minutes. Peace. Sorry again for this blurry thing. Thank you for listening.